Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Cipher mining. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now today we will be talking about the critical areas of support that must hold for continuation to the upside to new all-time highs, especially within the interpretation of an impulse, which on this chart it is possible. But it is quite fragile, especially because in this movement to the upside, especially in this initial structure, we have quite a lot of choppy movements where I could consider this a double 1-2-1-2 setup, and then we would be looking now for a larger wave 3 to be developing. But in that case, we must hold the relevant areas of support within this third wave to the upside to still maintain such an interpretation. But yeah, of course, there are and there will be backup scenarios presented in case of failure, but for now we can still attempt to track even within this wave 3 a series of a couple 1-2-1-2 setups in this area, then this as an internal wave 3, which honestly could be complete, but I am prepared to see further extensions within it in a couple of ways actually. And then we would still need, after this movement is complete, we would still need a couple of 4 or 5 patterns to build the larger wave 3 and complete the pattern. Now in that case, we have this interpretation presented in the white scenario where, as I said, we have an internal 1-2 setup within this wave 3, but even within this wave 3, I am actually tracking here in the shorter time frame an additional very tiny 1-2 here, where then I could consider this third wave complete, and then I would be looking for a correction in a wave 4. And the way this third wave would have been completed would be something like a 1-2-3, fourth, possibly in a triangle, and then a fifth wave to the upside in this area, or then I would expect a correction in the wave 4 at the levels between the $17 all the way down to the $10.9 level. Now, for an all-round breakout, an all-round break of the interpretation of this scenario, I could allow a slight shift to contain the entire movement to the upside for this wave 4 correction, but really it would only shift the support zone at the 50% retracement by only 10 cents. So it's not too relevant. I would be rather watching at this point at least for the closest level of support that we could see a reversal at. Because yeah, otherwise we would also shift the closest level of support by about 10-15 cents. But anyway, I do also have the possibility to track a possible interpretation of an extension here within this path to the upside, which is still tracking here in yellow this larger wave 5, or not the wave 5, this larger extension in a wave 3 in an impulse to the upside. But within it, I am actually tracking the possibility of an extension within this supposed wave 3 that we have presented in white internally, where this would be a 1-2, this would be a third, then we would have here a fourth, and then we could be tracking to the upside an ending diagonal where we have a possible 1-2 setup in this area, where so far we have actually reached the 50% retracement and we may be finding support and continuation to new highs already still within this internal wave 3 in white. And yeah, then we would have here the wave 3 top. But at this point, I do have to say we even have the possibility of morphing this into, or not even morphing, but following this throughout an impulse where this could be a double 1-2-1-2 setup. Not something I will be focusing on because we would still already be at the end of the area of support for this possible 1-2. We will be tracking that in future updates and covers of this stock, which pattern really is following if it ends up managing to still push higher. But yeah, not a focus at the moment. This is on the very small, very short time frame. The area of focus for me is still the white interpretation, where we are looking for support between, again, the $17 level all the way down to the $11 level, the $10.9 level. And then this takes me to the breaking point. What happens if we don't manage to hold this area of support in white, well, which I removed now, but yeah, what happens if we break below the 50% retracement here? What do we have to look out for afterwards? Well, this is the orange interpretation, where I am still tracking an uptrend on this chart, and maybe I should remove briefly the other scenarios. And in this orange interpretation, we would be tracking a leading diagonal forming to the upside, where I am still tracking a 5-wave pattern, but within this structure, I am looking at a 1, 2 here, yeah, just the one, an ABC pattern in a wave 1, an ABC pattern in a wave 2, and then I'm looking for something like an ABC pattern in a wave 3. Overall, I would still be looking for the third wave in the orange interpretation to reach the ideal target of the wave 3, which in this case it is at around the $123 level at the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. Yeah, quite extended. And I do want to mention, this will remain a possible interpretation for quite a significant amount of time, because this A wave doesn't become invalid if we push higher within this structure to the upside, even within an impulse. A wave A can be an impulse itself. It can form the full 5-wave structure that we would be tracking in the white interpretation and still be just the wave A, okay? But if we are to have topped already in this wave A, we would be looking to find support in a wave B in the area between the $9.4 level, and it extends all the way down to the $3.3 level, which is quite a steep step down from the levels that we would be tracking here in the white interpretation, where the invalidation point is already at the $10.9 level. And that is why the areas of focus must hold. So again, within the white scenario, we are tracking the impulse to the upside, and within the yellow interpretation here, we are tracking a possible extension within this impulse to the upside. Yeah, we are looking to extend this internal wave 3 in white. And then we have the orange scenario, which will be a backup interpretation. And yeah, we will be tracking it only really if we end up failing to hold the support zones for the white scenario. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover. And I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.